Welcome to the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast. I'm your host, Forrest Kelly. From the seed to the glass, wine has a past. Our aim at the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast is to look for adventure at wineries around the globe. After all, grape minds think alike. Let's start the adventure. Our featured winery is... We continue our conversation with Richard Turley of Colorado Cellars in Palisades, Colorado. What is a typical day for you?
There is no typical day. We work 18-hour days, it seems like. You see, we raise a lot of our own grapes, too. We have about 22 acres of grapes in different varieties, and then we have peach orchards as well. So when we're not at the winery, we're working in those vineyards or orchards. Of course, we have people that work with us, too. But I don't know. A typical day is we're here in the office in the morning, and then we're not. We're either out in the vineyards, or sometimes we're bottling all day, or doing whatever needs to be done. I mean, it is a family-run and owned and operated winery, so we do whatever we need to do, and we're active here every day.
18-hour days, wow. So who all is involved in those 18-hour days?
Well, it's just my wife and I running the winery. We have two sons, but they grew up here. They've got their own careers now. So the oldest son actually owns the winery's original brand, which was Colorado Mountain Vineyards. That was the original brand and the name of the winery from 1978 until 1986, at which point Colorado Cellars became another DBA. And quite frankly, that was done because the investors were the ones who were Colorado Mountain Vineyards, and we wanted a clean break with a new brand. I'm not sure if you're aware, but as of 86, you can't really call a winery with a state name anymore or a viticulture name. So we're sort of grandfathered in there.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a federal law. You can't use AVA name in your company name anymore. You can't call a winery California Cellars or Nevada Cellars or anything like that. It's prohibited as of 1986.
There's got to be some logic behind that, I guess.
Well, I think the logic was, as I understand it, there was an old brand called California Cellars operating out of California, but they were using wine from another country. The BATF felt that it was confusing a customer. That's what most of these laws are supposed to do, is to clear up and make it easier for the customer to understand what they're getting, although I'm not sure if that's always happened.
What kind of highlights do you do? When you've got to do a job at the winery, what's your favorite thing to do?
Oh boy, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Driving the big tractors out in the field in the beautiful weather?
I'm a jack of all trades. I just fill in wherever I needed to be, I guess. It's never dull around here, Forrest. I mean, if we're bottling, we're loading the vans or calling the customers. I guess that might be it now that I think about it. Having been on the road, up until a year ago, I was the one doing all the deliveries and visiting the accounts. So that's probably my favorite part, is still visiting with them once a week.
How far away do you go?
Well, we do the whole state, so pretty far. So Colorado's a big state.
Right, yeah. Your wife, how long have you been married?
Wow, let me think. 1981, 41 years, she says. She's signaling me 41 years.
And she has always wanted to be a winemaker?
Oh, I don't know about that. She jumped right into it, and she does pretty good, I think. We've got a wall full of medals, so something's right.
Yes, I see. That might be an understatement. In 2011, Colorado Cellars entered the first Colorado Governor's Cup wine competition. A wall full of medals. Yes, your entire line of 24 wines won a medal. In our next episode, we'll find out more about these award-winning wines.
Will somebody answer that phone?
It's time, boys and girls, for our listener voicemail.
Hi, my name's Brett. I live in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I'm new to the wine world, and I'm trying to find a nice red wine to go with a filet mignon. Do you have a recommendation?
Because filet mignon is so lean, it's often cooked rare to medium rare so that it retains its flavor, its mild flavor. Keep in mind that you don't want a heavy red wine to strip away all of that subtle flavor, so you want a light red wine. So I'd recommend a blended red wine like a Bordeaux. Thank you for your question, Brett. Thank you for listening. I'm Forrest Kelly. This episode of the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast was produced by iHizzle. If you like the show, please tell your friends and pets and subscribe. Until next time, pour the wine and ponder your next adventure.
This is Doug Vincent with the podcast Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories. In 1956, I contracted polio. Thanks to my loving parents, I've lived a full, rich life over the past 67 years. Join me as I share my journey and uncover inspiring stories of resilience. This podcast is a platform for survivors of disability and those who champion services for the disabled community. Tune in on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Let's walk and roll together on this incredible journey of strength and empowerment.